Los Angeles tonight is a very dark, dismal evening here in downtown gentrified Los Angeles. You know who these gentlemen are, but let me introduce them anyways. Dylan, Desmond, Jesse Schreiberman. Take two.
No. I'm just, dude.
We're good?
You can keep that. Yeah.
All right. But you know them as Bell Witch. Boom. Let's get into it. Welcome to Los Angeles first.
Thank you.
It's been a while.
Yeah, last time we played here was at the Complex with Wreckmeister Harmonies.
2 years ago?
I think so. About 2 years on the dot, I think. Yeah.
You know what? By the way, my ears are still ringing from that night, but that's another story.
That was a loud show.
What'd you say?
My ears are still ringing from that night. Let's get into it, man. Mirror Reaper is a new release. This is the third release that's out now on Profound Lord. For those of you that are familiar with Bell Witch, you know what to expect to a certain degree. For those of you that are not, let me just go back into a little history. This duo here, with your prior member, which we'll also address with respect, one of the bands that have gone on to not only move forward in the so-called doom, funeral doom, all this other fucking genres that are coming up. Let's just say for what it is. True, heavy, human, emotional music. That's how I like to look at it. Okay? Have pushed the boundaries way beyond of creative, artistic realms to where we are now. And the reason why I address this is because on this record, and I'm sure that you've been getting compiled and all kinds of different interpretations by so-called writers and reviewers, but let me throw my 2 cents in there. One of the things that I really enjoy about this record the most, aside from the usual dark, dismal, macabre, is the human element. This record really has, to me, when I listen to it, a lot of human emotion in regards to grief, a lot of pain, and definitely a lot of what I would say misty, macabre, twisted, tortured emotion. What I like about it also is the fact that I am from the old school where I love when an artist breaks the chains of so-called expectation and just lets himself jam creatively, and it's captured on the recording machine. Hence, the album. That's my interpretation of it. Let's get right into it real quick. Talk to me about this record, and of course, let's address the fact that Adrian Guerra's passing. How did that affect this record and the creativity in the writing process of the record?
I think we had been working on the record for a while when Adrian passed, and I think at that point we both kind of took a step back and thought everything just got different. And I think I can't speak for both of us here, but I might. I think that for me, it made me think we have to try to do a lot more with this than we were planning on. Not that we planned on making anything flimsy, but I think I felt that this has to be really special and this has to mean something, because we're doing a disservice to ourselves and to Adrian's memory if we don't. So I think to me, I thought this was a lot more serious than I had previously approached it within my head. And like I said, I don't think I was approaching it with flimsy ideas about what was going to happen with it. But yeah.
You mind if I speak forward with you? I think what happened was you had real life smack you right in the fucking face, man.
Yeah,
right?
Fair.
I mean, no matter what type of relationship you have with someone, especially when it's in a creative relationship, there's a bond there. Basically, your brother passed.
Indeed, yeah, exactly.
So it's no joke. It's no longer trying to be creative and try to be dark. You're in the middle of the shit.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. And I think it took on an element of, this is, not that the idea was written to be a memorial to him, but I think that we wanted there to be something of that in it, because I think there's a lot going on with the whole song, and I think that we thought right in the middle of the album we can put something to him, and then we put some of his unused vocal tracks in there, which I think was the perfect fit for the tracks and for the song.
One of the things that I've always liked about your band, as I mentioned prior, is the fact that you always are outside the box, so to speak. You know, you can tell that organically, and there's a few bands that I give this credit to, and you're one of them. Whereas, as I mentioned before, outside the box, you're doing your own thing. You're not following the trends. Like right now, this genre of music is considered marketable and happening. And as you see, Hot Chicks are here tonight. But what I like is the fact that you do your own thing. And then here you come with this real life tragic experience. And of course, it's going to alter the writing, the creativity, the musicianship, because you're grieving. Now, I don't want to say this record is a grieving record, but would you say that it has elements of that, and that's probably what inspired you to refocus on the writing of this record?
Absolutely. I think we were trying to make it flow in that it had kind of waves of in the way that grief has waves. There's anger, there's sadness, there's all the stages of grief. I think that was something of what we were trying to do, give it peaks and valleys in that regard of what just the emotional process of grief.
Would you agree that this is a purging record? Purging of your emotions, your grief, your frustrations, your anger, your disappointments?
Yeah, in the way that I think every record should be, I think. Well, I guess it depends on what kind of record it is, but for Bell Witch, I think that it should always be, yeah.
Let me just say this before I make this into a woe is me type of interview, which is, I don't mean that. The record's a fucking masterpiece in itself. It goes well with the journey, the creative journey of Bell Witch. But what I appreciate, what I like, is the fact that it touches me not only as a heavy fan, emotionally as a human being. It goes back to the origins of when music was created to touch humans. And this is what I think you've mastered with this masterpiece, is not only that you were able to experience that horrible, tragic experience, but not only did you go beyond and move forward, but at the same time you captured the spirit of your past bandmates.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I like the way you put it. Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not as stupid as I look.
Fair enough.
Let's talk to you.
Sure.
You come
I was
right.
about to leave. Yeah,
No. You come right in here and you join this creative. I want to say, this whole mastering of this record from the beginning on up. But talk to me about the difficulties, because that's a fucked up way to start putting things together on a writing aspect.
I guess just for clarification's purpose, I started playing in the band in 2015?
Yeah.
I
know your history, but you're
okay.
part of this.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Your energy.
I think that when he passed, we already I can't remember. We already had about half of the thing done, but we took this sort of long break to try to deal with all of the stuff going on, And I think that I know that for me, as a person who had already stepped into a band as not an original member, when he died, it was one of those things where I was like, should I continue doing this, or what are we gonna do? Because he was a really close friend of mine as well, and I think that it definitely it sort of changed my ideas on what my purpose in the band was gonna be, if I was gonna continue, if we both decided that it was gonna continue, because I don't think we even knew. There was we talked about it for a while, where it was this is really crazy now. But I think that for me, on a creative side, I know that I decided that if I was going to do this and we were going to do it together, that I wanted to make sure that my presence was unique, so it wasn't just it sounds like he's trying to be Adrian on Four Phantoms.
Right.
I think it's complementary also.
It's complementary as well, and I think, but I guess for example, adding the organ was which we do live as well. It's that was a way for me to sort of set myself apart from the old previous Bell Witch before I was in it. Right. So I think that was the biggest way that it affected me, was I need to be my own member, not just a replacement or fill-in, So I think that that's what it did for me.